Lamplight Audiobooks presents The Daughters of Ironbridge, Book 1 in the Ironbridge Saga, by Mollie Walton, narrated by Lou Corfield. Prologue. The Ironbridge glimmered in the moonlight. A woman trudged across it, carrying a precious package. She could barely walk, one foot dragging as she struggled to place it before the other. Dry leaves crisping underfoot, her pale face wincing with every step. She peered up at the full moon, took some distant hope from it, and looked down at the face of her child, asleep in her arms, wrapped in rags. She tucked the cloth tighter around her tiny baby, trying to protect it as best she could from the autumn chill. She could feel its bones. It was thin, and too quiet. She had given her child every ounce of milk she could, but it had dried up. She was too hungry herself to nourish her child. Weak and exhausted, she knew she could not go much further. With all of her will, she reached the centre of the bridge. The centrepiece stated the date it was built, 1779. 55 years ago, just over a half-century, since the town itself began to bloom alongside its namesake. Her master had been a boy then, a spoilt boy, no doubt. That family always spoiled their children. It was why they all turned out that way. All turned out bad. She looked down at her babe in arms again. "Not you, little un," she whispered, her throat hoarse from thirst. "It'll be different. You'll be sunlight, not moonlight." She kissed her child's head and looked up at the imposing mansion built on iron money that loomed above the town, above the bridge, above them all. If only she could keep going. But her legs were now as heavy and immovable as stone. She had come to the limit of her endurance, the final shred of her strength gone. She heard footsteps. She looked up to see a man in a broad hat walking purposefully across the bridge. He was coming towards her, and he was talking to her. "Good woman," he was saying. "Can I assist ye?" Good woman, she thought. I was a good girl once. Her thighs were shaking. She felt her knees buckle. "Will you help me, sir?" she croaked. "Please, hold my baby as I canna stand no longer." The man, who she now saw wore the simple, curious clothes of a Quaker, came to her quickly and took the child. The moment the weight of her warm bundle was lifted from her, it was as if her body knew before her mind did that it was time to rest.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?